Hello Bookish friends, welcome to another Turkish shelf video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a historical fiction book that takes place in my home city, Izmir, The Ghost of Smyrna by Loren Edizel. Loren Edizel was born in 1962 in Izmir. Her father was a Levantine artist and her mother had Italian familial roots. She wrote a lot, poems, essays, and short stories when she was a child and a young adult. Edizel moved to Canada to study in the university in 1979. She studied political science and cinema at Concordia University in Montreal and has published poetry and screenplays. She wrote her first novel, The Ghost of Smyrna, as well as The Imam's Daughter and Adrift. She also has a book of short stories titled Confessions. One of her short stories, Deniz Kabuğu, was published in the collection Women's Stories of Izmir. She currently lives in Toronto. The Ghost of Smyrna was published in 2013 by Zar Publications. The book has been translated by Rosa Hakman to Turkish and was published in 2017 with the title İzmir'in Hayaletleri. The author won the award from the Levantine Society with this book. The Ghost of Smyrna is a novel that sheds light on Izmir's most turbulent years, intertwining the nostalgic magic of the period with its devastating reality. Jacob is sent to Damascus to fight for the Ottoman Empire during the First World War and never returns. His family, living in Ayakaterina, a middle-class neighborhood in Izmir, never learns what exactly happened to him. Having lost his mother and then his father, Nico grows up with his grandmother, Marie, his uncle Polycarp, who vacillates between genius and madness, and his aunt Elena, a painter. Nico, who memorizes everything that happens in this multi-ethnic and multilingual world, takes the reader on a journey through time in the ashes of the Great Fire of Izmir. There are many characters in this book, but I will talk about the most important one. The first one is Nico, our narrator. He is an old man at the beginning of this book, and he grows up as an orphan living with his grandmother, uncle, and aunt. He is naughty and is most fond of his aunt. Aunt Elena is a self-trained artist spending most of her time in the attic working in front of the canvas, instead of looking for a man to get married and preparing her trousseau like most of the other girls of her age in that era. Polycarp is Nico's idiosyncratic uncle. He is wiser than he pretends, but has got a lunatic reputation for his vagabond ways and the instantaneous mental blackouts. Dr. Manalis is a devout Greek nationalist and a long-time companion of the family. He dwells in Smyrna because of political reasons. He is in love with Elena. Nazım is the son of an Ottoman pasha and a political suspect from the Greek officials' point of view, who also pops in with counter-nationalist sentiments in his mind. He also falls in love with Elena. Last but not least, Marie is Nico's grandmother, who is the rock of the family and holds all of these different personalities together. And what did I think about this book? When this book was first suggested for my in-person book club, I had never heard of this book before. But as I read it, I really enjoyed reading this book, which takes place in a time that is actually a very sad time in our history. The occupation of the city by the Greeks after the First World War, followed by the Great Fire of Izmir, which burned down a quarter of the city center. The book tells the story from a very different point of view. A minority in Izmir who was not from Greek origins, a family who's trying to live their lives, not being involved in some kind of political debate or, of course, the internal war which was happening in the Middle Anatolia. Aside from this very distinctive point of view, which was very interesting, I also loved the writing style of the author. The book was written very, very beautifully. Some parts were told like a fairy tale, but like a book that I also love and reviewed in this series, The Silence of Scheherazade. This book also depicts the reality of the Great Fire of Izmir quite realistically, and some scenes were quite raw. So there was a big contrast in the tone, which fitted the time period perfectly. After researching for this video and learning about the author's origins, I could quite understand author's family's memories and history quite affected this story, and it was sort of like an own voices book. Overall, I gave this book an 8 out of 10. I would certainly recommend this book to my international friends, because especially the unique perspective of the family adds quite a lot to the history of the city, and how the multicultural heritage of the city still affects the point of view of the people living in my city. This was my review of The Ghost of Smyrna by Loren Edizel. Please comment down below. Do you have any books written by Turkish authors that you would want me to do a Turkish video of? And if you are a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose fire. Fire means yangın in Turkish, and yangın is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.